Welcome to this edition of Pattern Spotlight. Today we will be reviewing Simplicity's S9480. And be sure to stick around throughout the video because I will be showcasing images of what the suggested fabrics could possibly look like for this particular garment. You don't want to miss that. It will help you tremendously with choosing your fabric for this project. If you already know how to do my sew-alongs and videos, and if you'll be kind enough to watch at least one ad, should it appear, which enables me to keep bringing you free content, feel free to skip ahead to go straight to the pattern spotlight. Skip ahead to the 3-minute 42-second mark. Here's a little bit about how I do my Sew With Me sew-alongs.
Techniques, I'm going to put it on the website and I will reference it in the sew-along itself. So for example, we're working on a pair of pants that has a fly front. So when we get to that portion in the sew-along, I'll do a little bit of it, in instructions in the sew-along itself, but then I'm going to refer you over to the website to go ahead and look at that video, that particular video, look it over, study it, do your own sample if you want, because I'm big on that technique binder. So go ahead and and do that. And then once you get a good hang of what that technique is, then come back onto the sew along itself and do that particular technique with the sew along. So that way we both kind of benefit. You still get the instruction of the actual sew along, step by step of how to do a particular thing. But it's less editing on my part because, like I said, I'll mention it in the sew along itself, but then I'll refer you over to the website to actually find that particular technique and go ahead, review it, look at it. And then once you master it or enough to where even you sew along, at the same time and install it in that particular sew along that you're doing at that time. So hopefully that will be okay for you, because I think I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank everyone for watching my videos. I love to upload the videos. I love to share my knowledge. And I'm pretty sure that you guys love to get free content. So in order for me to keep uploading free content, I just need you to do some simple things for me, some very simple things. The first thing is just to hit the subscribe button. So just make sure that you hit that. So you're subscribed to my channel, hit the notification bell so when I upload a new video, you don't miss out and you get to see it. And then also if there's an ad on my videos, they're typically anywhere from 10 seconds to maybe up to 2 minutes. Just go ahead and either watch it or do something else you want to do in that particular time that ad is running. So use the restroom, go get something to drink or something like that. Because that way, if you let that ad run, I benefit from YouTube, and that way I can still keep creating content and uploading it for free. Okay. Enough of that boring stuff. Back to the sew along. Please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And also hit the notification bell so you don't miss any uploads. Thanks again and keep on watching. Okay, so again, we're discussing Simplicity's S9480. The garment type is a jumpsuit. Sewing level is easy. The description is a step-in jumpsuit. It has a halter surplus neckline, bodice yoke and gathers, and set-in waistband with elastic and drawstring details. Options for ankle and mid-calf lengths. So moving on to the body measurement range and sizes. So for sizes 6 to 14, has a bust body measurement of 30.5 to 36 inches. For the waist, it's 23 to 28 inches. And for the hips, it's 32.5 to 38 inches. For sizes 16 to 24, the bust is 38 to 46 inches. Waist is 30 to 39 inches, and hips are 40 to 48 inches. Okay, let's take a look at the line drawings and discuss the garment elements for
View A, it's a halter top. It has a gathered bodice surplus bodice. It's elastic casing waistband. Has a drawstring, gathered hem at leg. At the waist, at the hem, the leg hem, it has a tie also, and it's also ankle length. And this is view A. For view B, it's same as A, except for the length is at the mid calf. Okay, moving on to suggested fabrics. So it's crepe de chine, rayons, batiks, cotton lawn, and gauze. Okay, so let's look at each one of those in a little bit more detail. Crepe de chine, it's a woven fabric. It's less textured surface than a traditional crepe, but it does have a textured surface nonetheless. It's lightweight and wrinkle resistant. Traditionally was made from silk, which is a natural fiber, but now mostly from a man-made from the man-made fiber polyester. Okay, moving on to rayon. That is a woven fabric. It has a silky and flowy silhouette. It drapes nicely. It's lightweight, thin, breathable, and soft to the touch. Moving on to batiks. That is a woven fabric. It's textured and feels like cotton. The dye used is manipulated in such a way to create the pattern on the fabric. Moving on to lawn is a woven fabric. It's generally made by cotton, which is a natural fiber. It has a smooth, untextured surface. It's crisp to the touch and crisp finish. It's lightweight, it's breathable, and moisture wicking, but it can also retain a bit of heat. It's typically semi-sheer and slightly transparent. Basically, it lets a little bit of light through. And lastly, gauze. It's also a woven fabric. It's lightweight. It has an open weave. It's very soft, semi-sheer, and very breathable. Now let's take a look at how the pattern makers intended this garment to fit. Its silhouette, basically using a size 14, which is the mid-range of the sizes. Okay, so for a size 14, the body measurement for the bust is 36 inches. The finished measurement is 41.5 inches. The difference is 5.5 inches, and I'll pop up the ease chart. You see that the silhouette intended is a loose fitting. The silhouette range is 5 1/8 to 8 inches. And at 5.5, with the difference being 5.5 inches, for the range is on the low end. Me personally, I would probably up it to between 6.5 to 7 inches, which will be in the mid range of the silhouette for the bust. And that's just basically looking at the bust on the envelope and making your own judgment call. Okay, moving on to the hips. The body measurement for the hips for size 14 is 38 inches. Finished measurements, it's 43.5 inches. For a difference there of 5.5 inches. And the silhouette is a loose fitting, and I'll pop that chart up there so you can see that. The silhouette range, it's 4 1/8 to 6 inches. And at 5.5 inches, that difference, it's on the high end of the silhouette range. So again, personal preference for me, I'm going to up it to 6 inches which is obviously the high end of the silhouette range. Now, as always, what I tell you to do is take a tape measure and put around those measurement points, so your bust and the hips. So for the bust, you will put it at your actual bust measurement, okay? And then you're going to increase that by 5.5 inches. And looking at the pattern envelope, you're going to see if that 5.5 inches is enough for you. Could be just right, could be too little, too less. You make the adjustments. Whatever you decide, that becomes your personal measurement for that particular garment and that particular silhouette. Okay, and you're going to repeat that process for your hips. So you put it around the fullest part of your hips at your actual hip measurement. All right. And then you're going to increase the tape again by 5.5. That was the pattern maker's intended silhouette there. So you're going to start there. So you're going to increase it by 5.5. And then again, looking at the pattern envelope, making your own judgment call if 5.5 is enough, if you need to increase it, or if you need to decrease it. Whatever you decide, that becomes your personal your personal ease measurement for that particular garment and that particular silhouette. So make note of those. Let's go over the sewing techniques you'll need in order to complete this pattern. You'll need the basics, which is a straight stitch, basting stitch, reverse stitch, sewing corners and curves, including notching and clipping, stay stitching, understitching, edge stitching, and top stitching. You also need to know how to do gathering, casing, so of a waistline or waistband. You need to know how to do a casing there, and a fabric drawstring. And finally, hemming. If you made this pattern or intend to, or if you're going to follow along with me, please let me know in the comments. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of content. Thanks again for watching, and happy sewing.